for the round of 8 for the playoffs. If y'all remember from Darlington, Ricky Styles Jr. got the win, and Eric Jones and Joey Logano were eliminated from it. But our question is, who is going to win Texas? That's our main question and goal. Who's going to win Texas? I mean, literally, who do y'all think is going to win Texas? Now? Let's jump ahead into our groups. Let's see who's going to win Richmond. Let's see who's going to be advancing through the rounds, and see who's going to win today in Texas. Because I'm pretty sure I just said Richmond earlier. However, let's get to group number 1. Group number 1, Ricky Styles Jr. and Eric Almirola. Ricky Styles Jr. playoffs and Eric Almirola. Eric Almirola and Eric Jones were at risk of being eliminated at Darlington, but Stenhouse had the car to win, so that kept Ricky in, and that put Joey out because Joey just didn't run that good. He was one of the early people to be out along with Jones, so Jones and Logano missed the playoffs. Eric Almirola is going to lead lap number 1 with Ricky Styles Jr. just completely ramming into the camera. Eric Almirola is going to lead lap number 1. Ricky Styles Jr. is going to lead lap number 2, and Eric Almirola is going to come to the end on his side. The final lap of our first group. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to lead. Lap number 3, big Eric Almirola's hopes are over in Texas. Almirola is out, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has hope in Texas. He's going to lead lap 1, and he is going to make it into the next round. Group number 2, Daniel Seires and Harrison Burton playoffs. Now it's currently Bowman and Byron at risk of elimination. In a photo finish, non-playoff driver Daniel Suarez is going to lead lap number 1 in Texas. Harrison Burton knocks over the camera and leads lap number 2. Last lap. Harrison Burton, Daniel Suarez. Who's going to advance? Harrison Burton's in the playoffs. Daniel Suarez is out of the playoffs. Daniel Suarez is going to beat Burton to it. And where did Suarez even go? Here. And Suarez is going to have luck in Texas. Daniel Suarez has hope in Texas. He's going to advance. And Harrison Burton's going to lose hope in Texas. He is out. Whew. And in the next group, we have Chase Briscoe playoffs alongside Martin Truex Jr. I have to explain. If I say someone's name and then say playoffs afterwards, that's because they're in the playoffs. Because I don't have anything to put banners on the cars. Martin Truex Jr. is going to lead lap number 1 while Chase Briscoe comes down and knocks over the camera. Phew. Chase Briscoe is going to lead lap number 2. Knock over the camera. Ignore myself if y'all see me. So yeah, Briscoe is going to lead lap 2. And no! Sorry, Truex fans, but Truex didn't make it to the end. Truex loses hope in Texas. He is out, the non-playoff driver, meaning Chase Briscoe, a playoff driver, is the lucky one. He advances to the next round. In the next group, we have Eric Jones and Bubba Wallace playoffs. I almost said Eric Jones playoffs, but I remember Jones is out of the playoffs. Bubba Wallace leads lap 1 with Eric Jones coming around by barely anything. Did Jones even make it? I know Wallace has definitely made it, but did Dream Cake hello. My question, did Jones? Yeah, Jones made it to the end. One more lap for our next group. Group number 4, 1 to go. Bubba Wallace is going to lead that lap. And Bubba Wallace is going to be the lucky one to advance to the next round. The playoff driver of Bubba Wallace. I saw a dream cake. It was awesome, including that photo finish. But yeah, I just sad that Briscoe and Brad wrecked out because they're my favorite drivers. But Bubba Wallace, the playoff driver, is going to advance to the next round. And Eric Jones. Yeah, I did. And Eric Jones, who used to be a playoff driver but was eliminated after Darlington, is going to lose hope in Texas. He loses that round. Yeah. And in the next group, we have Brad Keselowski playoffs alongside a driver who used to be in the playoffs, Joey Logano. Joey is now out of the playoffs. Brad is in, Joey is out. Brad versus Joey in group number 5. Oh! I know, y'all probably see me just ignore that fact, but that was certainly something. Knowing the fact that neither of them made it, but Keselowski beat Logano to it. So, non-playoff driver Joey Logano, poor Logano, is not going to advance to the next round. And Brad Keselowski, playoff driver, is going to make it to the next round. In the next group, we have Justin Haley and Kyle Busch playoffs. Remember, in case you weren't watching when I said it, I don't have the things to make the banners yet. I can't make the banners. Anyway, so when the cars are going out on track, when I say their name, if I just say their name, they're out. They're not in the playoffs. But if I say their name and then say playoffs afterwards, they're in the playoffs. While Kyle Busch is going to take us to lap number 1. No, this is not stop motion dream cake. This is live. I don't have a ramp, so I just put my cars at the top of my whiteboard, and I just let them roll down. This is not stop motion. I used to do stop motion for these races, but they're just too hard. And a photo finish, Kyle Busch is going to lead lap number 2 in Texas. Yeah, sorry. One more lap. Kyle Busch in the playoffs. Justin Haley out of the playoffs. And in a photo finish, Kyle Busch is going to, yeah, basically like that. Dream cake. Bro, I just said dream cake. Bro, okay, I'm getting breaking dead. Poor Justin Haley is not going to make it to the next round. He is out. And Kyle Busch, a driver in the playoffs, is going to advance to the next round. I don't know why they do it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I tried to make them not. In the next group, we have AJ Allmendinger and Alex Bowman playoffs. I feel like it would be better to put the camera a little bit to the side. Because I'm going to plug it up, by the way. But I feel like it would be better to put the camera over to the side. So and put the ramp over to the left. So they can avoid it better. Is that good? That should be good, I believe. Alright. Oh! Whew. Okay, I need to move that down. Neither of them made it because of that malfunction. Holy cow. A drink cake, by the way, I had season 3 sign-ups for the Nascar Critter Cup series. If you want to sign up, you have to just tell me a number of which car you want to drive. And you can sign up for the NASCAR Critter Cup series next year and be in those races. So let's redo that lap. AJ Allmendinger is going to surprisingly lead lap number 1. I have to put Penske guy down on the list for next year. Alright, Penske guy's on my list for next year. Well, not next year, because whenever this season is, probably the day after is when season 4 is going to start, or season 8. That's taken by Rowdy Fan. You can't be the 8. That's already taken by Rowdy Fan. AJ Allmendinger going to lead lap number 1. Let's go be Alex Bowman to lead lap number 2. And AJ Allmendinger doesn't make it to the end. AJ Allmendinger is going to lose hope in Texas. He doesn't advance. Alex Bowman, a playoff driver, advances to the next round. So, the ones that have been taken is the 6, the 3, the 8, the 22, the 24, and the 12. So just choose a number that isn't 6, 3, 8, 22, 24, or 12. In the next group, we have Ryan Preece and William Byron. Playoffs. 23. This car, because it's not taken yet. This car, this is only 23 I have, and it's not taken. So this car, this is the only 23 I have. So I already talking about you want this car. Alright? Let me sign you up. I'll do the paper. Alright, you're on there. I know. I know it is. Alright, Ryan Preece, William Byron. William Byron leads lap 1. Ryan Preece make it. I believe the camera. Oh, no. Preece didn't make it because his car is in the camera. So, Ryan Preece's Texas hopes are over. Ryan Preece is out. Playoff driver William Byron's hopes are here. Because William Byron is at risk of elimination. And now hold on. Harrison Burton is now eliminated. I can tell y'all that as a fact. And it is William Byron and Alex Bowman at risk of being eliminated. But since Burton was just dropped to the bottom, now it's only Byron at risk. And now that he's advancing to the next round along with Alex Bowman, that's going to give these drivers another chance that are not currently moving it that good in the playoffs. Because like I said, it was Joey Logano and Eric Jones to be eliminated from the round of 10. And here we are in the round of 8. And after this race, 2 drivers are going to be eliminated. Then we'll go to round 6. And then after that, another 2 are going to be eliminated. And then we'll have our champions at 4. Chase Elliott was our season 1 championship. And guess what? Sadly, Chase Elliott missed the playoffs this year. So Elliott doesn't have a chance at his second title this year. And we have finished all the groups with playoff drivers. We're going on to groups with no playoff drivers. Starting with starting with Josh Berry and Chris Buescher. Josh Berry leads lap number 1. Chris Buescher leads lap number 2. Well, same. I'm not a fan of Busch, but I hope. Last round, in a photo finish, Chris Buescher is going to have hope in Texas. Chris Buescher advances to the next round, and Josh Berry loses hope. He will not advance to the next round. What is that? Guess who's back? In the next round, we have Kevin Harvick and Michael McDowell. Which one of these 2 are going to make it? Which one of these 2 are going to advance? Michael McDowell leads lap 1. Did Kevin Harvick even make it away from the camera? That's our own question. Did he? Yes, Harvick makes it away from the camera. And like I said, Michael McDowell leads lap number 1. Michael McDowell's going to lead lap number 2. And, barely Kevin Harvick's going to make it. Harvick just sucks right now. He's being beat by a front row car. One more time, Kevin Harvick in his not last ever, but in one of his last ever starts. Oh, Harvick just got karma, I think. Kevin Harvick loses hope in Texas with no career wins, missed the playoffs last year and this year, so he's never even going to make the playoffs in the Kinder Cup. Is not going to advance in Texas. This is a slow hope loss because Michael McDowell is going to make it to the next round. Speaking of, in the next round, we have Dale Earnhardt Jr. and, well, not next round, but in the next group, we have Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ryan Blaney. Who of these 2 drivers are going to make it? Ryan Blaney leads lap number 1. If Racing Gus was behind the wheel of the 12, he'd be happy. But it's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading lap number 2. Oh! Y'all saw it. Blaney had a mess up exiting the ramp. That means hope for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's going to make it to the next round. And no hope for Ryan Blaney. He is out. Poor Racing Gus. Whew. In the next round, we have Chase Elliott and Ty Dillon. Which one, Chase Elliott or Ty Dillon, is going to make it to the next round? Because of the photo finish, Ty Dillon leads lap number 1, surprisingly. Chase Elliott leads lap 2. Did Ty Dillon make that? Yes. But apparently he's saying Ty Dillon made that. But Elliott leads lap 2. And Elliott's going to lead lap number 3, meaning 4-1. Hope for Chase Elliott. He's going to make it to the next round. And no hope for Ty Dillon. He is going to go to the garage. He will not advance. In the next group, we have Ross Chastain and Carson Hocevar. Now it's John Hunter Nemechek. Ross Chastain and John Hunter Nemechek. Across the line of photo finish. Surprisingly, John Hunter Nemechek's going to lead lap number 1. Back down the hill, Ross Chastain's going to lead lap number 2. Back down the hill. In a photo finish, Ross Chastain's going to have a luck in Texas. Ross Chastain leads 2 laps. He's going to make it to the next round. And John Hunter Nemechek, who led only 1 lap, is out. He will not advance. So we know Harrison Burton is out. Well, we still have another. We have the other 7 playoff cars in these next group. Hold on. Yeah, we have the other 7 playoff cars in our next session, but Burton, a playoff driver, is out. Yeah, he's going to be eliminated, so no hope for Harrison Burton turns left. But in the next round, we have Kyle Larson and Corey LaJoie. That's the second year Kyle Larson has missed the playoff. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of Hendrick fans out there that are surprised Larson has not made the playoffs, with Kyle Larson's going to lead lap number 1 over Corey LaJoie. Back down the hill. Oh, Larson leads lap 2, but didn't even make it. Larson made it, but LaJoie did not. Hope is lost for Corey LaJoie. He is not going to advance. He is out. And hope for Kyle Larson. He's going to make it into the next round. 2 more groups left before we go on to our next session. In the next group, we have Ty Gibbs and Austin Dillon. Who is going to make it in our next group for 3 laps? Ty Gibbs leads lap number 1. Is baby Gibby really going to make it to our next round? And photo finish, Austin Dillon's going to lead lap number 2. 1 more lap. Oh, and a mess up to the board. That's going to be a redo lap. If that is not a redo lap, Ty Gibbs is going to make it. But that's a redo lap because the board messed up with Austin Dillon still on it, meaning that had slowed down Austin Dillon, meaning we're going to have a redo lap. Because that had messed up Austin Dillon's run, basically completely. Because that basically kind of did not put him at a complete halt. So they get 1 more lap, 1 more chance. And Austin Dillon's going to lead them back because the ramps completely collapsed off them coming down. Oh, that time it wasn't a mess up. Austin Dillon completely messed it up exiting the ramp. So poor Austin Dillon, he loses hope in Texas. He is out, and Ty Gibbs is going to advance to our next round. 1 more group before we go to the next session. we have 3 cars. Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and Denny Hamlin. All the same manufacturer. All not in the playoffs. Hamlin is the owner of 2311 Racing, which is what Ty Dillon is on, which is what Tyler Reddick is on. So we're about to find out who is going to get the checkers in Texas. And I'm sure there's a lot of Gibbs fans and 2311 Racing fans out there who are excited to see who's going to win this round. One more round until the next session. And there's the collapse. Collapse number 2 of the stream. This is what messed up Austin Dillon in his run earlier, which is why NASCAR gave them another run, which Ty Gibbs won. Austin Dillon didn't make it in that round. But that was actually just a recent round. But they don't even make it. It just completely collapsed on us before they even went to running. That was an early mess up in Texas for the final group. There it goes again. Okay, I am getting mad. Why? Just why is physics have to be stupid like this? Hold the board there, you stupid tear. Dang, how hard is this? How hard is it to just hold up a board? God, gravity. We haven't even went green yet for our final round. This collapses, I'm going to race. Christopher Bell leads lap 1, followed by Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin. Basically, followed by our starting order. But Tyler Reddick's going to lead lap 2, followed by Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin. Damn it. Oh, Christopher Bell's out. But that doesn't end our race. I know. Dale's Denny Hamlin in front of Christopher Bell. But poor Christopher Bell, his hopes are lost in Texas. But we still have another 2 drivers in this round to battle it out to the finish. And that is Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin. 2311 versus the owner of 2311. I'm Joe Gibbs. And with a big spin at the end, hope for Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick's in the lead lap 3. He is going to advance to the next round. And Denny Hamlin out. He doesn't advance to our next round. And now it's time for session number 2. Group number 1, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. playoffs alongside Daniel Suarez. Playoff driver in Darlington, winner Ricky Stenhouse Jr. leads lap number 1. Daniel Suarez is going to take it to lead lap number 2. One more lap. It's going to be Daniel Suarez and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who is in the playoffs. Stenhouse won Darlington, but making it in the photo finish. Daniel Suarez is going to have hope. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the next playoff driver, is going to go deep. So he joins Harrison Burton in the elimination. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to join Harrison Burton. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is out of the playoffs. And Daniel Suarez is going to advance to the next round. In the next group, we have Chase Briscoe and Chase Briscoe playoffs and Bubba Wallace playoffs. Nobody else is being eliminated because we already have the 2 drivers eliminated. That's Harrison Burton and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who are eliminated from the round of 8. So we now have our round of 6 drivers. Our round of 6 drivers are Tex Briscoe, Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, and William Byron. So the drivers that are at risk of elimination are not at risk of elimination no more. Now, we're going to have another 2 drivers still at risk. But God knows. Bubba Wallace leads lap number 1. And photo finish, Bubba Wallace is going to lead lap number 2. Photo finish, Bubba Wallace hits the camera in a late fall over, but Tex Briscoe is going to lead that lap. So hope is over for the playoff driver of Bubba Wallace. He's not going to make it, though he is still in the playoffs. But Tex Briscoe, the playoff driver, will basically win that. He is in the next round. And in the next group, we have Brad Keselowski and Brad Keselowski, playoffs, and Kyle Busch, playoffs. Now, the places these drivers finish is how the playoff standings are affected. So, like how Harrison Burton was the first ever playoff driver to get out, he basically finishes last in the playoff order, which puts him last in the standings. And that puts him in one of the 2 drivers to be eliminated. And he doesn't have a chance to climb back up, which knocks him out of the playoffs. And same thing for the second driver, the second playoff driver. So, like I said, it's Harrison Burton and Rick Styles Jr. out of the playoff finish. Brad Keselowski leads lap number 1 over Kyle Busch. Oh, mess up. Another heartbreak for Brad. He messes up at the end. Brad Keselowski is going to lose hope in Texas. Playoff driver Kyle Busch is going to advance to the next round. In the next group, we have Alex Bowman, playoffs, and William Byron, playoffs. Which one of these playoff drivers are going to join Kyle Busch in our next session? Alex Bowman, barrel rules. I almost said Alex Bowman won't lead lap 1, but actually here barrel ruled right at the end, giving Byron the lead. So William Byron leads lap number 1. At that time, Alex Bowman leads lap number 2 because the same thing happens to this time both of those drivers. And the last lap. Oh! Byron got such a big run off the edge, off the platform. Hope for William Byron. He makes it into the round of Kyle Busch. And Alex Bowman loses hope in Texas. He is out, our race 3 winner at Dover. In the next round, we have Chris Buescher and Michael McDowell. Kind of an ordinary group. Having a driver with 3 wins this year and a driver with 1 win this year, IRL. In the Kingdom Cup Series, this year, neither of them have a win. Actually, they don't even have a win in their career. And with a lot of momentum, Chris Buescher leads lap number 1. Chris Buescher's going to lead lap number 2. Chris Buescher's about to get a chance to win here, y'all. And Chris Buescher is going to lead lap number 3, so there's hope for him. And plus, Michael McDowell had a mess up at the end. Michael McDowell is not going to advance. He loses hope in Texas. And Chris Buescher has hope in Texas. He's going to advance to the next round. In the next group, it's another ordinary group. In the next group, it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Chase Elliott. Kind of an ordinary group. That's what I have to call that. Bit of an ordinary group. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads lap number 1. It's not surprised. Earnhardt Jr. is going to lead lap number 2. Is he going to be Chase Elliott with one last lap? No! Chase Elliott that time has a run, and he's going to make it to the end with Dale Earnhardt Jr. landing right on the front of the camera. Had a huge mess up at the end of the ramp, but it's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. losing hope in this round. He is not going to advance. And it's going to be Chase Elliott to make it to the next round in the number 9 Camaro. In the next round, you don't copyright me. I don't know what that is. But in the next round, we have Ross Chastain and Kyle Larson. Whew. Is this me or is it hot in here? In the next round. Kyle Larson leads lap 1 because Ross Chastain tried to turn him, but just wasn't fast enough. And that time with no accidents, Kyle Larson's going to lead lap number 2. And Kyle Larson has hope in Texas. He leads lap number 3. He's going to advance to the next round. And Ross Chastain loses hope in Texas. He will not advance. He is out. And in the final round, before our second to last round. Hold on. So after this, this is the third to last round at the moment. Now this is the fourth to last. And in the last round, it is Ty Gibbs and Tyler Reddick. Ty Gibbs, who made the playoffs last year and even won the All-Star race, is up here. Out of the playoffs this year. Followed by Tyler Reddick, who is also out of the playoffs next year. But I believe he made the playoffs last year, but I don't think he did. And a photo finish, Ty Gibbs with a strong car. Once again, is going to lead lap number 1. And once again, Ty Gibbs leads lap number 2. I'm going to go ahead and jinx it. Ty Gibbs is going to win. I jinxed it in a photo finish. Tyler Reddick is going to beat Ty Gibbs. He's going to make it into the third to last round. And Ty Gibbs loses hope. He's out in Texas. Time for the third to last round. In group number 1, we have Daniel Suarez and Chase Briscoe playoffs. We got some playoff drivers remaining in here. Now imagine the last round having no playoff drivers. Just imagine. Oh, Daniel Suarez leads lap 1 and a camera knockover. But that means they both made it to the end before it knocked over. Meaning, oh God, I just messed up the whole entire thing. Okay, I'm putting all the groups over here because this is too confusing. But that means Daniel Suarez is going to have hope in Texas. He's going to advance to the second to last round. Hope is over for the playoff driver, Chase Briscoe. He is out of this round. While I set this ramp back up, don't forget to go check out sign-ups for the Season 3 NASCAR Killer Cup Series. Because you can sign up and be a driver for Season 3 today. All right, let's get on to the next round. Our next round, Kyle Busch and William Byron. Hold on. In the next round, Kyle Busch, playoffs, alongside William Byron, playoffs. Both playoff drivers. Which playoff driver is going to make it into Daniel's round? Kyle Busch or William Byron? Oh, Kyle Busch is going to lead lap number 1, and William Byron doesn't make it to the end. William Byron loses hope in Texas. He says adios to Texas. Kyle Busch is going to make it into the second to last round. In the next round, we have Chris Buescher and Chase Elliott. This is kind of odd because Buescher has 3 wins and Elliott has no wins. And in their career, Elliott has 1 win, Buescher has 0 wins. And this year, Elliott has 1 win, 0 wins, Buescher has 0 wins. But yeah, that group is Chris Buescher and Chase Elliott. And making contest at the phone, Chris Buescher leads lap 1. Chase Elliott leads lap number 2. And Chris Buescher is going to lead lap number 3 by barely anything. And Chase Elliott whacking the camera pretty hard, meaning Chris Buescher has hope in Texas. He's going to advance to the second to last round. Chase Elliott is going to lose hope in Texas. He is going to say adios, along with basically the rest of the field, besides Daniel Suarez, Kyle Busch, Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson, and Tyler Reddick. And the next group, the last group. And then we'll have our second to last session. And then we'll have the 2 drivers to round it out. Now, the championship race is going to go with the first championship driver in the front, the last championship driver in the back. But actually, no, the championship is going to go where the 2 championship drivers are not going to race the beginning part. And the regular cars are going to race it until only 1 driver is left. And that 1 driver is going to join the 2 championship drivers at a battle to see who has a chance to just be a winner, and who has a chance to be a winner and a champion, or who has a chance to just be a champion. But like I said, in the final round, before we move on to our second to last round, we have Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson, an ordinary group. We just been getting ordinary groups, so now we only have 1 playoff driver left in this whole entire thing. That's Kyle Busch. Who's going to make it with only 1 playoff driver? Everyone else are non-playoff drivers. Tyler Reddick leads lap number 1. Kyle Larson leads lap number 2, and Tyler Reddick knocks over the camera. If y'all see me, just ignore it. But they both make it. Tyler Reddick leads lap number 2. 1 more lap. Who's going to join Chris Buescher on the final round? Tyler Reddick has hope in Texas. Tyler Reddick is going to win the 1 round. He's going to advance to the second to last round. And Kyle Larson loses hope in Texas. He says adios. Get this charger. And now, 2 more groups. 1 driver's going to win this one. 1's going to win the other. To decide who is going to win in Texas. I'm trying to help you all see better. Hold on. Because it's not almost dark. It is pitch black. That means I'm doing this to help y'all guys see better. 1 more round. Group number 1, Daniel Suarez and Kyle Busch, playoffs. Kyle Busch, the only driver who's in the playoffs remaining in this thing. Can Kyle Busch do something? Can Kyle Busch just do something? Oh, y'all, Daniel put Kyle into the wall. Cheat. Daniel put Kyle into the wall, so we're going to have a redo. Again. Okay, Daniel's just cheating. He will not stop putting Kyle into the wall. Okay. It happened again. But they both made it. Kyle Busch is going to lead lap 1. Kyle Busch is going to lead lap 2. Now Kyle Busch actually having a chance. As short as the player, he's going to get it. There goes the camera, but Kyle Busch is going to have a chance to win in Texas. He advances to the final round. Daniel Shores is going to lose hope. He is out in Texas. I told y'all it would be strange if no playoff driver made it to the last round. And that occasion did not happen today. Kyle Busch is going to make it to the final round. One more round has had 2 drivers, Kyle Busch and either Chris Buescher and Tyler Reddick, or not saying that's the grid. Kyle Busch or Chris Buescher or Tyler Reddick are how it out to the finish. Chris Buescher knocks over the camera to lead lap number 1. So, it's a fact that's going to be a playoff driver versus a non-playoff driver. That's a fact. Oh, Tyler Reddick leads lap 2. It's Chris Buescher barely even making it.
Go left.
Go left. Tyler Reddick's going to lead the final lap. He's going to join Kyle Busch in the final round. See who our winner is. Chris Buescher is going to lose hope in Texas. One more round. The final round. Who is it going to be? God knows it. I don't. Kyle Busch, playoffs, and Tyler Reddick. Who is going to win Texas? Now, no matter what, Kyle Busch is at the top of the list. But lucky Nascar noticed that Daniel was not purposely landing into the wall. 3 more laps. Kyle Busch is going to lead lap number 1. Kyle Busch leads lap number 2. White flag. Who is going to win in Texas? Kyle Busch is going to get his second career NASCAR Kinder Cup Series win, and it comes in Texas. Tyler Reddick loses hope, and Kyle Busch wins the All-Star race, which is what puts him in the playoffs, and he's going to Texas and fancy him to the final, not the final round, but to the round of 6. Big burnout for Kyle Busch because he has won in Texas. So let's get this back a bit and look at our standings. So we have Kyle Busch. There's William Byron. Chase Briscoe. Alex Bowman, Brad Keselowski, and Bubba Wallace. They are your round of 6. And Ricky and Harrison. They're your round of 8 finishing results. And the final 2 drivers were scheduled to be eliminated. Harrison Burton and Ricky Styles Jr. are kicked out of the playoffs. Now, the standings going into the round of 6 before the championship 4. Our standings are Kyle Busch, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman, Brad Keselowski, and Bubba Wallace. Brad Keselowski and Bubba Wallace are at risk of elimination. So currently it's Kyle Busch, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, and Alex Bowman as our championship 4. But things are going to change in Las Vegas next time around. So thank you guys for watching from Texas to Dallas. The championship is probably tomorrow, and then the day after tomorrow is probably going to start off season number 3. Thanks for watching.